Hey, we're back. I know it's been a while. Things have been moving along here. Things are getting better. For my medical situation, I'm through the IV antibiotics. Had my follow-ups with the neurosurgeon, with the infectious disease doctor, and everything's going well. Everything's healing up good. They're very happy with the progress. So now I'm on the antibiotics, just with a pill. Probably will be for 6 months, but that's okay. And the heart monitor, yeah, that came off, and I had no AFib. So it must have just been something in the hospital, you know, just I don't know, the situation with the surgery and everything like that. But I had that darn thing on for 30 days, got the report back, and there's no issues. So that's good. So I'm trying to get back in the groove here and get back to work in the basement. So I figured I'd do a quick, at least quick by my standards, update what's going on down here. It's been a while, like I said. All right, so I did get the coal trestle, actually a while ago. That's done. Installed, added some coal, a truck there and whatnot. So I don't know if I showed that before, but there you go. Plexiglass in front to protect from errant elbows when you're switching in the factory. And the other thing I've been doing more intently are some DCC sound conversions. I did do this one here, which is the plant switcher for now until I can get an SW1. I think that's a Broadway Limited. I don't, really remember, to be honest. And it's got a TCS wow sound with the keep alive. I like having the keep alive, especially for switchers. It just seems no matter how hard I try, I have little pieces of dirty track that will cause them to stall, and that's annoying when you're trying to switch. So for the cruise enjoyment, I'm definitely putting keep alives in all my switchers. And another one that I did, since the Erie does serve the plant from the other side, and I love this locomotive, that's an Atlas HH660, I decided to do that one. Now that's also converted. It was a QSI, which I really don't prefer. That's got a TCS wow in it, keep alive, with a, this one's got a scale sound system speaker, which are really, really nice. I mean, those bad boys sound good. Recommended by one of my PRR friends down in Florida. You know who you are, so thanks for the recommendation. I really recommend them. If you want to try something, the Scale Sound System speakers, I think it's called their Rectify series, and he's a lot of varieties of them. They fit a lot of locomotives. A lot of them are just drop-in. So I recommend it. Give it a shot. They sound good. So what else I did, let me take a quick pause and move over to the engine terminal here. Alright, this is another one I recently finished, DCC Sound. These are True Line Trains FMC liners. These are the ones I believe I mentioned before. I bought them from Kingston Locomotive Works. Thank you, Dave. So, I failed on these though. However, these, let me show you. I need some advice. What I wanted to do on these, they represent the re-engined, the EMD re-engined locomotives that the New York Central did in mid-late 50s. So it's got the EMD exhaust stacks, some other details on it. It's got the correct horns on it, some other details and stuff. It's got the ATS shoe on the lead truck. So that's fine, and that was fun to do, and that's kind of the first I did detailing, seriously detailing a locomotive. Then I said, all right, I want to simulate the faded black paint that, especially the C-liners, the photographs I've seen, tend to exhibit. They fade to almost, it looks like, were they painted in the passenger gray? No, they weren't. They're black. They're just faded. Well, I tried to do that, and I don't know how well or how badly it's going to show up here on camera. I did airbrush it. I had some model color, I think like a light blue-gray color or something like that. No, I think it was a battleship gray. Anyway, it was a light gray color. Best I could kind of match looking at the bottle and photographs in some of the Morning Sun books. Got the airbrush out, took it out to the garage, threw it up on my recycling can, which is my paint booth, and sprayed it. And it's not right. It's all stipply. So I don't know what I did wrong. I'm thinking maybe I was too far away. I mean, I set the airbrush up based on what I read or saw some YouTube videos on by some folks that seem to know a lot more than I do. You know, so I thinned it 50-50 with Vallejo Flow Improver. I shot it about 25 psi. I have Iwata Neo pistol grip airbrush, which I like. I'm comfortable with it. But it came out stipply. It looks like I spray bombed it. So these are kind of going to be a joke. I mean, you look at them, they're like, oh my God, that's terrible. That's not what I was trying to do. Again, I don't know how well or how bad it looks on the camera, but you can definitely see this kind of the stipply effect. That's not what I wanted. And I don't know if to really, really get this effect, if you'd almost have to do it when you're painting, like if you would paint the unit. Because trying to fade this after the fact, that might be a tough thing to do. Again, I don't have a lot of experience. Maybe those of you out there that have experience and are much better at it than I am can let me know in the comments below. Right after you smash that like button. Or for the 6 or 7 of you, smash the dislike button. But I don't know what I did wrong. I think I was too far away. So I need to definitely do some more practice with the airbrush. I don't know if I can save these. Anyway, they run great. Again, these are also TCS Wow Sound. And these, I couldn't quite fit one of the scale sound speakers because they hit the smallest round speaker they had at 9mm height was just hitting the top of the hood. So I had to use kind of a normal, one of the TCS 28mm round speakers. They sound okay, but you can kind of see the stipply effect, and there's some more details. There's the unique lift rings they had on the rear of the units. And they run great. I mean, these are nice running units now. But, unfortunately, they look a little goofy. Okay. Live and learn. It's just a hobby. I'll get over it. Alright, so that was done. And then some more stuff I did. I'm getting a bigger fleet of the Keep Alive equipped locomotives. I know I've showed it before. I also have my Reading Trainmaster. That's over here. That's an Atlas Trainmaster. That is TCS Wow Sound with Keep Alives. That one's been done. And let me show you another set. Let me move to the other end of the yard here to show you what I really, really like. I'll be right back. Okay, this set I really like. This is my New York, Ontario, and Western FTAB, which are Stewart, and an Athearn Genesis F3A unit, consisted together. I did a lot of work on these. A lot of details were added to these units based on prototype photos. I won't go into all of it, but it was a fun project. And these are, I'd like this set. Now they all have TCS Wow Sound, so they all have the Keep Alives. The F3 here at the end does have one of the Scale Sounds speakers in it. The FT's, well, the FTB is a dummy. The A unit does not. I was kind of going when I was transitioning over to these Scale Sound speakers, and I had this farther along, so I didn't. But it's still a nice running set, and it sounds good. I mean, that F3 really sounds good. So let me just crank this up a little bit here, and he says. I like this set. This is fun. You can see it's been weathered, somewhat heavy. And the story here is that obviously the New York, Ontario, and Western went belly up in, I believe, March of 1957. Well, what's going on here is, and the reason, because the photographs I've seen, I think they took pretty good care of the locomotives. They didn't look too dirty or ratty or anything, but this is after, turn the bell off, this is after they went bankrupt, so it's in maybe, fall of 57-ish, something like that, and the Erie is taking these units and running them to see if they want to buy them. So if on the layout, they're going to come off the Olean branch, most likely, with Erie interchange freight that runs over here to Eugene Yard. So that's my story, and that's why they're here. So I really like these units. Like I said, it was two conversions really: the Stewart F unit and then the New York Central, or the Athearn Genesis F3 unit. And that F3 unit's got some details unique, actually both do, unique to the New York, Ontario, and Western, which maybe I'll show some photographs. I have a little protective thing in front of the speed recorder. The F3 has got footboards, which the New York, Ontario, and Western, I don't know, I think they might be the only railroad that did that. So I cobbled up together some footboards and put them on the front. The protective piece in front of the speed recorder seems somewhat unique also to the New York, Ontario, and Western. That's on both the F3s and the FTs. And then the handrails there on the nose, those are also somewhat unique. And those are, best I could, put on based on the prototype photos. And you can see they're weathered up rather heavily. They've been sitting for a little while, and then the Erie is just running them to see if they want to buy them. And also on the back of the FTB unit, there is the hot air recovery hatch, which I think is a unique thing to the O&W. Apparently they put that on to take hot air from the exhaust, bring it back down into the unit to keep the electronics or something warm. I don't know. But they're definitely there on the photographs. They're hard to see because, unfortunately, a lot of people weren't taking photographs of this kind of stuff. A lot of ground level photos, but I wanted a good photo of this. So there is some information that some of the guys that are much more Ontario and Western experts came up with, and I went with my 3D printing guy, Don, he made it up for me. So that's 3D printed, and it's pretty accurate, and it's scaled right, and it's set in the I'll say in the closed, it's not over the, you can see it's kind of retract. What am I trying to say? It's set more for the summer, not yet for the winter time, because I'm modeling the fall time. So this would extend out over that fan to bring the hot air down. I think, I don't know, I'm no expert. So that was another project that took quite a bit of time, because I'm slow at this kind of stuff. And now this was weathered with spray bombs with the Vallejo hobby sprays and some washes and whatnot to kind of weather them up. But I really enjoyed this set, and again, it runs nice. I was able to get it consisted and speed matched okay, and it runs very, very nice. Now also, talking about pains in the rear end, I got my Rapido RS11 back on the layout. That was kind of a nightmare. That darn thing had to come apart. And I know it's not news to anybody who's tried to take apart one of the first run Rapido RS11s. It is an absolute cluster. How they came up with this design is beyond me. It's horrible. But I got it apart. Yeah, I did break some things. I had to actually cut the antenna, the train phone antenna, and then real carefully re-superglue it when I got the cab back on. So I was able to get it done. I had to have it apart because there was a wire that was broken, something like that. So I had to take the shell off. Well, little did I know what an adventure that would turn out to be. Anyway, it's back together. Runs nice. It's a good unit. It's lightly weathered because it's a relatively new unit. So I didn't go too crazy on it. Just want to tone it down a little bit. So that's back together and working. So that's pretty much what I've done in terms of the motive power additions to the layout. Again, I didn't film any of that stuff. I just didn't feel like it. Plus, there's tons of videos out there on DCC conversions, and I'm not an expert at it by any means. So there's no way I was going to try to make a video because it would be like, why are you doing this? Do you know what you're doing? Yeah, I got through it. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into the yard here and get ready for another op session. You can see the yard's pretty full, left over from the last session that we had. So I need to go through and kind of get things set up and staged for another op session, hopefully relatively soon. So that's that. Oh, I did one other thing in Lake City. Let me go over there and I'll show you. Actually added another structure. Let's go take a look at that. Alrighty, so over here in Lake City, what I wanted to do was add a crossing guard tower. And again, I just like that look. It's so railroady. I had one that was a plastic kit, I think an Atlas kit, that I purchased from a gentleman at an estate sale. Well, I was poking around on eBay and I saw this one. This is a craftsman kit made by Fast Tracks. Yes, by Tim Warris. If I say Tim Warris, if I said his name wrong, I apologize. Of the Fast Track switches turnout manufacturing fame. Must have at some point in time offered a couple craftsman kits, and this was one of them. So I picked it up, and it's a nice kit. It's very well detailed. It's got the interior. I added a dude inside there, and it's got the bell for the crossing and everything, and then I added some other details around it, but it's a nice little kit. And it does have lights in it as well. I added a single LED very carefully that came up, so that's my little crossing tower that I added. And I did add some details at the base of it. You can see there's some coal. It includes that little coal bin in the kit. And I added some coal bags that I had and a rusty drum. I don't know a model railroader alive who doesn't love rusty drums, so I had to add one of those. But very nice kit. Enjoyable couple evenings to build. Everything fit very, very nicely. So I don't know if you find them anymore on eBay, but that's a good kit. So there's Cletus's brother inside. He works that. It's got the bell there on the end. I did add a little wire there, a little 012 wire to go back for the actuator, I guess, for the bell. That's there as well. It's painted in sort of New York Central-ish colors to match the station and whatnot. So that's that. So that was done. That was enjoyable. Now, what I need to do is get the darn gates in, which are just going to be, manually operated crossing gates that the gentleman in the obviously in the tower handles and throws. But I need to get them in. I have the linkage down below. I've just been too lazy to get under there, and crawling around on their layout, in all honesty, really isn't fun anymore for me, especially with the back issues, and I just don't like it, but you got to do it. But I need to get the gates in. I have them. It's going to be all the Walthers set of the gates, with the black and white, just the gates, stripes on them. They look good, and has the wire for it and everything. There'll be one over here and one here. I probably could just lay them in there just to have them, even though they're not really hooked up and operating yet. But I need to get that done. I'm going to have to force myself to do that, because then everything else here up in Lake City is pretty much done. I like that. I like the scene. I really like the way this turned out. And the crossing tower is just kind of the icing on the cake. Alright, so what's coming up next? Well, let me take a quick walk back and I'll show you that the area I need to work on next is the far back corner. Let's go take a quick look at that. Alright, so in terms of some scenery work that I need to do, this back left corner, from roughly the left side here of the rock outcroppings all the way around here to on top of the tunnel, needs to have the scenery, trees, and whatnot added. So I'm probably got to start making a bunch of super trees, and I do have some MBR trees that I can throw in there, but they're expensive, so I use those judiciously in good foreground position. So this is pretty foregroundy here, but so this area needs to be done. And there's all kinds of other scenery I want to get to, but this is the main area that I want to get next. Get this done, get it finished. Not that people are back here a lot, but it's kind of getting on my nerves that it's not, finished, so to speak. So that's going to be the next area that I work on. Other than that, got a couple more DCC sound conversions underway. And then it's just a matter of, hey, you know what? I'm going to run some trains, have some fun. Alright, so that's a quick update, although probably not very quick, actually. But in terms of me, things are going well. Hopefully everyone else is doing well and keeping healthy. So more to come. I'll try to get more involved, back into it a little bit more. And do some more videos. Maybe film some trains running, which I know people ask for, and I keep saying I'm going to do, and I haven't. But now that I got some units actually done, converted, weathered, I'll feel more comfortable actually filming some trains running. So, all right, more to come, folks. Let me shut up and get this posted. And again, more to come now that things are a little bit more back to normal for me. At least as normal as I ever am. All right, see you guys later.